Hey everybody. So I just got back from seeing Superman. I was just about to say Superman Returns, but I just got back from seeing Superman. So what's my thoughts? This is gonna be spoilers, actually. Um, it was a good movie. You know, the backstage heroes were fucking awesome. You know, Green Lantern was awesome. Mr. Perfect was awesome. Hot Girl, she looks nice, you know. I wish her hair was a little more orange. She's a little more like, like the hot girl that I remember from watching the cartoons, just fucking badass. Like just Wonder Woman aura, but hot girl and hot girl knows how to brawl and box and everything. And I don't know. She wasn't I wouldn't say Mr. Terrific 100%, Green Lantern 100%, Superman, Lois, cool. Everybody at the Daily, is it the Daily Planet? I was just about to call it the Daily Bugle. The Daily Planet was pretty good, but I don't know. There's just, this can't be a short video because it's going to be a long explanation here. There's something that is missing from this movie, especially when you reset it. There's just something missing from this movie that I just don't understand. Like, the movie's not bad. It's really creative how they made the movie, and like in terms of like, okay, we're gonna skip his origin, right? So instead of you watching a base Superman movie where it's like first act, origin, second act, it's like the plot, he's trying to protect someone, he made a mistake, they got hurt, so that just, makes him stronger, makes him, try to look out for that, not to try to make that mistake again. Then the third act, he's got all his powers, he knows how to do all his powers, he knows how to do everything. You know what I mean? It's smart, but like I'm just tired of how every time, Superman's got villains, bro. Why are we always, it's like the first movie, it's always Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor can be a part of the movie, just like how you got all the superheroes a part of the movie. And he can fight freaking what's that guy's name? His name sorry, I'm more Marvel than Brainiac. We still, like, of all the years since 1978 till now, there's been no Brainiac. There's been no. We got Darkseid in Mark Cavill, but that Darkseid was ass. And or no, we didn't get. I think in the Dark Snyderverse movie, Darkseid was there, or he appeared, or he was going to be like in a future project, but he looked like Darkseid too. But like, still, like, there's no Brainiac. There's even one guy Superman fought in the cartoons that I used to watch as a kid, especially the Superman animated show. There's a guy who's a robot, and he's got kryptonite in his chest. So many guys, and we just keep going back to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor can be like you guys remember Batman with Christian Bale, and how, like, I think it wasn't Rises. I can't remember which Batman movie it was, but apparently Bane was in there, and then you had other villains in there. When they all got released from prison, they were just a part of the movie. Like, there's never anything like that. They didn't show. Anyways, Lex Luthor was awesome. The actor that did him, very good. They showed more Lex Luthor in this than they've ever shown in any other Superman besides the Christopher Reeves Superman back in the 80s and stuff, right? I've never seen Lex Luthor try so hard to get Superman. Wish we could have seen a flashback. Flashbacks are really good. Just to get a feeling of why he hates Superman so bad. Like what Superman did one time, or him saving people, or him fixing a natural disaster, or he just did something that Luther just, and they could have just showed a glimpse flat back so people could really understand why he hates him so much. But like I said, I get it. If you know Superman, you know Lex Luthor, you know the whole setup, you don't really have to go that deep. But, connecting to characters is a lot real. I feel like everybody in terms of acting did a good job, but there's just something that I'm just missing. Like there was a scene where, so I gotta break down this movie. So like there's a scene in the beginning where like Superman's fighting this big ass monster that you guys saw in the trailer, which is spoiled, right? He's fighting this big lizard, and he's hitting him, but like he's boxing him, but he doesn't want him to like hit a building. That's cool. That's cool that James Gunn's trying to show like, no, this Superman just doesn't let buildings fall and people in buildings get hurt. Like he does things to protect, like the trailer when Superman's like, up here, and then he flies up in the air. So pretty much the lizard blue fire hit the building. Nobody got hurt. So Superman flies in the air so that he can redirect the fire so it's not hitting nobody. I get it. It's creative. It's smart. I feel like some people forget how smart Superman is. Superman, the robots in the movie, Superman made those robots. He's very, very intelligent. He's not retarded. He came to Earth and the man was just a scholar. He's like, he knows everything. He's not retarded. Like, he's really smart, They didn't really emphasize a lot of that in the show. Like, they show, like, his ideas. But it's just, I don't know. There's just something about this Superman. I don't know why I can't connect with him. Like, he looks like Superman. He walks like Superman. He talks like Superman. But it's just, I just don't have this sense of feel of security. Because the thing is, when you're watching a movie, right, you kind of picture yourself in those shoes. Like, okay, if I'm living in a world with Superman, I would expect to feel comfortable, But he's always getting his ass kicked. And, like, don't get me wrong. Superman is so beloved because, like, he always holds back, He tries not to hurt people. Even when he's fighting a villain, he tries to, how hard it is to beat somebody without killing them, without hurting them, like just to beat them enough that they just can't fight anymore, but it's not going to cripple them their whole life or anything. It's very hard to do that. But only Superman is just one of those gifted heroes where he can do that. You know what I mean? There's key moments in his whole being where he had to go all out. Maybe Darkseid, maybe Brainiac. There's like sometimes where he just, he can't hold back, or it's going to cost, it's going to be a big catastrophe, but I don't know. So yeah, I just found it strange how, this monster blows fire and Superman just couldn't handle it himself. It's cool, Mr. Terrific and Green Lantern and Hot Girl, they all got in there, beat the thing for him, and he just held it so it doesn't fall. But, like, this is Superman. He's so smart. Like, with all his powers, bro, he can do so much crazy things to deal with just a big monster walking around, Like, he could have lifted that monster and fucking threw it in the river and fight it. He could have, I guess they tried to show in the movie that he can't press this thing. Because when he was holding his leg, he couldn't fully lift it. He can only barely hold it till he got crushed. And it's like, it's Superman. This man can bench the earth. Like, Okay, so okay. So let me compare this to Superman Returns, right? There was a scene in Superman Returns where it was the ending scene and he's lifting like okay, okay, okay. It's a kryptonite asteroid that keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? So when, normally when Superman's around kryptonite, even a little bit of kryptonite, man can't do much. But the Superman Returns Superman was able to lift a thing that pretty much it was the size of the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. And he was able to press that with kryptonite and throw it in outer space. Superman. All by himself. No Green Lantern, no Mr. Terrific, no help, no nothing. Superman. When you go to an era where you're the only hero that exists, Superman did that. Okay? He pressed that thing with kryptonite and was able to throw it in outer space. That's feat. So you're telling me Superman can do that in 2006 and Superman in 2025 can barely lift the foot of like a kaiju. Superman. He can fly so fast. He could probably create a tornado or something. He's so amazing. It's like they weren't even showing him utilizing his powers to like the smartest degree. He could freeze things with his breath like it's a lizard. He could have freezed the damn thing without killing it, then lift it, and then it's Superman, It's cool that he cared about the lizard when it died, when Mr. Terrific just fucking killed it in a cool way. But it's like, he's Superman. This is Metropolis. He's not Batman, and he's got Nightwing and Nightboy and Batgirl and all these people to help him out. Like this is Superman. And don't get me wrong, like I said, all the other heroes were great. They were great. I can see why they put them in the Superman movie. If people like them, if they want, they can invest in making a movie for them, but they don't really need to. When you look at Avengers, there was never a solo hot guy or Black Widow movie. They just had them in there, and then they were in all the Avengers movies. So, who cares? As long as they're in there, it's fine. But I don't know, man. Like, that kind of made me feel weird. Like, so you're telling me this is Superman. He can, like, freeze things with his breath faster than a speeding bullet. Man can press fucking asteroids. Superman. And he can't even lift a kaiju. That was just weird. So we're gonna go a little more in the movie now. So like he's fighting this guy called Ultraman or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, number one, who's Ultraman, because I can't remember him that well, And then I was trying to figure out why this guy is out boxing Superman. And it's like, they made sense out of these things. Like, it's not like they made a movie and didn't, like, cut their tracks. They tried to cut their tracks well, but it's like, this is Superman. He has to save the whole Earth. He doesn't just save Metropolis. This man saves the whole Earth millions of times over. If an asteroid, okay, by that logic, if there's an asteroid that's gonna be hurling the Earth, if Superman can barely lift a fucking kaiju, you're telling me like this man's not gonna be able to fucking deflect the asteroid because he's done that many times in the cartoon, right? Don't get me wrong, bro. But anyways, like I was saying, so like he's getting beat up by this guy. And he's getting beat up by him because, Lex Luthor remembers all the fighting patterns that Superman does. So he's able to think quick on the spot and tell the clone Superman how to beat up Superman. But I find this strange because this is Superman. If he's fighting somebody with the power, even if he has the same powers, it should be pretty close. I've seen Superman fight Shazam. I've seen Superman fight, you know, I'm trying to picture him in my head. I've seen him fight people that were on this like close to his scale in strength, but he still was able to box them and be full in control, keep people safe at the same time, and do what he needs to do. Not just get his ass beat. Like, I don't know if they were doing that so you can care for Superman. Like, oh my God, Superman's hurt. I feel so bad he's hurt. Come on, Superman. You can beat him up. But it's like, this is Superman. So he can barely lift a kaiju. He can't beat up himself, who has no intelligence. He's getting literally told what to do, how to fight. It's like, this is very weird, you know? How did it take him damn near the third act to realize, because even I was thinking to myself, there's always these bots around when he's fighting this Ultraman character. Why doesn't he destroy those? Superman is not retarded. He's not dumb. He's Superman. He's very smart. Look at every time he met Batman. You think he's an idiot? He's smart. He's really smart. Okay? He's... You're telling me it took the third act for this guy to realize, oh, these cameras are telling him how to fight me, so let me destroy the camera. So they did a scene earlier in the movie to show that Krypto fucks with toys, right? He fucks with these anything moving objects he likes to eat. So it's like in a film perspective, it's creative. You know, you took what Krypto was doing, you used it to an advantage to help Superman in a crazy scenario in the third act. But this is Superman. But then again, okay, Superman in the third act is like, okay, I gotta destroy these robots or whatever. I'm gonna get Krypto to do it. Then I'm gonna beat up this guy. It's gonna be easier for me to beat him up because they can't tell him how to fight. And I got that. I got the whole, like, the only way to beat Superman is going to be the dark hole. I knew that was going to play out later in the movie. But I don't know. It's just like, bro, I know Superman. When I watched Christopher Reeves, this man doing things to save a train from falling, you know, I think the Hoover Dam broke and he was able to fix it. The whole, like, flying back around the earth to turn back time was crazy, but it's Superman. It, like, you think of the craziest thing and you'd be like, Superman can probably do it, you know? Superman Returns. He didn't really fight any, like, kaiju or anything, but this is a perfect example. So in this movie, they had this splitting the earth thing. In Superman Returns, same thing happened, but it wasn't multi-dimensional, like a pocket dimension is splitting earth, okay? But it was an earthquake created by Lex Luthor that was going to Metropolis. Superman, you see, I like the old movies. I gotta take off my vest to talk about this, bro, because, like, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, but in terms of DC, like, I love Superman, so I gotta get this off my chest. So, like, in the old Superman movies, you can tell that he's using one of his superpowers to his advantage. He's already very intelligent, he's already very smart, and he has the superpowers to amplify his already base knowledge and base skill. They just amplify his techniques to get shit done. So you guys can go back, and if you guys are Gen Z and you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can do that too. So Superman Returns is an earthquake. It's going to Metropolis. Superman can hear the earth quake. He can hear that there's something cracking under the ground heading to Metropolis because he has super hearing. All right. He flies straight to Metropolis. He flies downward because he's smart. He's like, it's an earthquake. I think I know how to stop an earthquake. Even though it was a short scene, he did things in a way where it was like there was 5 Superman, but it was only him. He stopped this flaming gas from blowing up this whole facility. He freaking stopped the earthquake. He saved the Daily Planet. This big ball thing was dropping last. He was able to protect it. He used his ice breath or super breath, or I forgot what the fuck it's called, but you know, he gets rid of the heat. Superman is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even though a movie there was no super villain besides Lex Luthor and like him to box up, in terms of saving the public, he did all that by himself. He knew exactly what to do. He knew where he had to go first. He was just smart, man. He's smart, bro. He's like, how do I get rid of this kryptonite thing? He just shucked it, and it kept growing bigger and bigger. It was super heavy. He threw it away. You know, and I don't even want to get started on Christopher Reeves because he's the GOAT. So we get to this Superman now. Same thing happening. There's a shift in the pocket dimension. Now, don't get me wrong. He can't really go fly down and hold it and try to pull it together. That's not gonna work. But there could have been a way better. Like, he needed Mr. Terrific to help him with that. But it would have been cooler to see him trying to like do things in his power to try to stop the rift in a very smart way. But he was too busy fighting his clone, his laser beam, anything, you know. One thing that kind of threw me away from the movie is we get to a scene, the third act, and Superman gets Mr. Terrific to close the rift. He feels that now's the best time to give Lex Luthor a hero speech. The rift is still cracking the earth, and he's trying to tell Lex Luthor, I'm a man, and I make mistakes, and I'm normal, and I cry, and it's just like, it just feels like it's the wrong time to do all this shit. Personally. I don't know, he's Superman, but he just wasn't able. The movie's not trash. The movie, like, I enjoyed watching it. I understood why things were happening. I understood why things led up to others, but it just felt very rushed, and it didn't allow me time to connect with him, and he wasn't really using a lot of his normal abilities to deal with certain situations. You got these guys in mecha suits fighting Superman. Now, he takes care of them very easily, but like, this is Superman, bro. He could have done it in a very more creative way than using his freaking laser beam and spinning around. This is Superman. I don't know. It's very hard for me to explain this, but there's a character in the show who, like, she's a girl and she's taking selfies, and I'm like, why is she in this show? What's her purpose? Later throughout the movie, she has a purpose for being in this show. It's supporting the plot, and like, her taking selfies, you know, she was taking selfies of like all of Lex's work, because, you know, he gets pissed off with a girl, he locks him in the pocket dimension, so she had enough of his shit, and then she was sending all her information to this guy she likes. And it's like, even though they could have done the whole movie without her, she was a big reason why Lex fucked up in the end. But like, why would he, someone as smart as Lex Luthor be dating somebody that is taking selfies. And what James Gunn tried to do is, it's not bad. He tried to connect what we do in real world to the movie, right? He tried to, everybody, anytime a police officer, over abusing his force, he's being recorded by everybody, right? So it's like a similar type of thing. And she did it in the movie so people can see how violent, be like, Superman's being violent, this is a video. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it just wasn't a Superman movie to me. People talk shit about Spider-Man 3. I never hated it, even when I watched it as a kid. I liked it. I thought they were going to do, the third movie was going to be just Harry, but it was cool that Venom was in there and Sandman was in there. Because honestly, as much as you like the heroes, you love the villains too. Lex Luthor was badass, but it's like Superman wasn't doing super things. You compare feats that Superman has done, whether it's the cartoon or the old Superman movies, like I explained earlier, and it's like, what feat did he do here besides get his ass kicked the whole movie? A dog beating the shit out of him for fun. Him taking the wrong times to, express, emotion. Like that scene where he's being interviewed by Lois. I understand why he raised his voice, but I feel like I think he did it because he felt comfortable because Lois was already his girlfriend. So it's like, you know what I mean? He felt comfortable enough to do that. It didn't really seem too bad when I watched it. A lot of people are overly gassing, that interview. But I don't know. Superman just looks like he's still new at this shit. Like he's not. Like he's being interviewed. He's like, like he's not serious, bro. He's not relaxed, calm, says the right things. He's smooth, I get it though. He's trying to help people. He's trying to save people. They were going to be hurt. They were going to be killed. But I don't know. The Supermans that I know, they're just so relaxed, so calm. They don't overly express. What the fuck does Superman have to be afraid of? Really, he's Superman. A bullet can't hurt him. A knife can't penetrate him. A minigun can shoot in his eye and it's not going to do anything. He's Superman. What the fuck he's got to be afraid of? Even when he's talking to somebody, I don't know. Would I recommend you guys watch it? If you want to watch it, go watch it and see for yourself. Because I had to go watch it because it was very 50-50. Some people are saying it's good and other people online are saying it's trash. It's not trash. It's a good movie. They did good things. They connected things. Even no matter how small detailed it was early in the movie, they brought it back into the movie. So it's not like the director is getting treated like how the directors got treated in Star Wars, where the owner of Star Wars, the woman or whatever, just doesn't like Star Wars, and she's just like, no, screw Luke, right? But no, James Gunn did a great job directing this movie. It's a Superman movie. There's good heroes in it. It's good that they took the time to, give the heroes some breathing space. Hot Girl didn't really get anything. I'm not a feminist or anything, but it's Hot Girl didn't really get shining moments. She had one when she killed, the president or whatever. But, compared to Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific, she really didn't really do much. But, Hot Girl is a great character. She's Hot Girl is so awesome, dude. the hot girl that I grew up watching, badass. She's strong enough to fight. She can fight toe to toe with Wonder Woman better than any female hero in the DC universe. She's not beating Wonder Woman. No one's beating Wonder Woman, but I'm saying like she's probably one of the second strongest. Like she can like there's even I forgot the woman's name, but she's black and she has the strength of every animal on the planet. They haven't even made a movie about her yet. But yeah, like DC is good. It just needs the right director. I feel like James Gunn is that. I feel like, you know, it's crazy how they made the new Batman. He's like Bruce Wayne is supposed to be very flamboyant and he gets bitches and he's, you know, he's very charming and social and, you know, funny, witty, rich, you know. He's just rich but alone and, you know, he doesn't get girls, he doesn't care for them. He's so goth like, you know. I don't really know how well his energy and the new Superman's energy is going to work. But yeah, like I don't know, Superman can do so many great things. It would have been cool to see him fight Green Lantern. They didn't even do that. I don't know. I just the movie ended and I'm just like, what did he do in the movie? He didn't stop the drift. He stopped the clone Superman. He got beat up by the lizard because he couldn't think of an easier way to stop him without help. You know, like he could have done something in a way where it could have. Okay, so I want to explain another thing. So things are going to keep coming to my head. I'm not going to edit any of this. So things are going to keep coming to my head. I'm just going to say it. So you know the trailer when he saved the little girl, right? I just find it very retarded or very dumb that like the girl, okay, there's a big ass lizard behind you that is knocking over shit and blowing fire. You ain't even looking in that direct. Guys, when there's an accident on the street, you know how people on the highway, they drive slow to see the accident? Okay, that's just an accident, a car accident. This is a big ass fucking 4-story or 8-10 story, I don't even know how high, super tall freaking kaiju. And you just, this is her. She's just, okay, the kaiju's behind me. She's like this. Like, you're not even paying attention to what's behind you. They got some dumb people in Metropolis, bro. So now Superman swoops in, saves her. That's great. He the best, the GOAT. But why is she in a scenario where she's A, not running away, B, not looking at the, like everybody else is looking at the damn thing. She's the only person just like for that scene. It's just very, if I see a kaiju, my eyes is on that and I'm running away. Different direction. I'm not like not looking at it and Superman just saves me. Like, bro, like I guess. Come on. Another thing Superman could have done is like dug a hole, like went really fast, dug up a hole so it comes down a little bit, like halfway, knock his ass out, he falls forward, you know, make like a frozen like icicle so it can like slowly crush down or something. Like this is Superman. Like this is what I'm saying. Like you guys don't know Superman like I do, bro. Like forget the movies and the cartoons. Like Superman is Superman. He shouldn't need help to take care. Bro, this man stops asteroids from hitting Earth. This man stops, you know, super villains. Not even a villain. Super villains. he's always the last resort. I don't know. This Superman's great. The actor's great. He did a good job. There's nothing bad about him. There's nothing bad about the Superman. Everything looks like it should look. But it's just, for me, he's just missing something. Like, James Gunn was trying to be different from Jack Snyder with the whole, all the buildings destroying. It's like, no, my Superman can save buildings. You hear when in the third act, the Metropolis was evacuating Metropolis, right? So when the buildings fall now, you're supposed to have the assumption that everybody already evacuated, so nobody really died, right? Someone was going to die, and Superman saved her, which was good. You know, he's doing Superman stuff, but I'm saying, like, Superman's just a lot smarter. Like, I don't want to watch a Superman movie, and the Superman that I'm supposed to be giving my heart out to, connecting to, wanting to win, not wanting to die, is just getting beat up by everything. He can't solve a problem by himself. I don't know, man. There's a reason why, like, superheroes, they have their own cities, because they can protect that whole city by themselves. Even if there's other heroes in the city, they still do it a whole lot better than them. You go to Gotham at nighttime, Batman got that on lock. In one night, Batman has got that place on lock. Metropolis is no different. You know, like, for Henry Cavill, I felt like Metropolis was on lock. Like, he's got it, bro. Like, you know, the first movie introduced Zod, and I'm really glad that I got to this point in the video, because what I liked about Man of Steel, was it called Man of Steel? I think it was called Man of Steel. Henry Cavill was great. He looks the part, he's buff, whatever. But what connected me to the movie was how I know how Superman is. Like, in terms of the fight scene, he's not fighting... Bro, there's so much I gotta talk about. Superman in Man of Steel, he's fighting Kryptonians. They're Kryptonians, all right? The girl in this Superman movie that's got these nanobites or whatever, she has no super strength. Honestly, I didn't even understand why Superman had to dodge. Like, Superman is weak to magic. She does not control magic. And she's throwing, like, she can think of any object and, like, it becomes the object. And she's throwing chainsaws or whatever, like blades, at Superman. Why is Superman dodging it? I'm just like, bro, he's the Man of Steel. She thought of chainsaw blades, threw chainsaw blades at Superman. He didn't even have to dodge it. It's chainsaw. What's it gonna do? It's not gonna cut him. There's no kryptonite in the chainsaw. There's no magic. Why is he dodging them to then get licked by the other guy? It was so weird. Like, okay, like, I get the other guy is him, right? It's a Kryptonian. So he's going to get hurt by that guy. But he shouldn't be getting hurt by the girl, period. It has nothing to do with her being a girl. Because there's women in DC that are strong enough that actually hurt Superman. Wonder Woman's one of them. She can lick up Superman, but Superman's eventually going to get the upper hand. Because he is stronger than Wonder Woman. But in the DC world, like, Wonder Woman's like the second strongest, I think. In terms of, like, if you want, like, boxing, Wonder Woman. She's number 2, 100%. And I just mean boxing. Like, if you want to fight like a supervillain on par with Darkseid, if you want somebody to box Darkseid, Wonder Woman can do it, but at a certain degree. Superman's just stronger than Wonder Woman. That's just how it is. She's strong. She can fly. She's got super strength. But you get what I'm saying, right? This woman in the movie, she's a good actress. She did a good job. There's nothing wrong with her. She did great. It's just that, like, her abilities that I don't understand. There's one ability that she had that actually did something, and that was putting the nanobites all in his body and shit. But what I don't understand is he flew out in the atmosphere. Now, I did not know yet that the clone, that he's fighting a clone. If he's fighting a clone, then it makes sense that he can breathe in outer space. But the other girl, it's like she's not supposed to be able to breathe in outer. I thought he was gonna go in outer space, stay there. She suffocates herself, so she can't really control her nanobites, and they just come out. And then, like, as she's falling, because she probably suffocates, she can't breathe, so she'd be hallucinating because she's falling. There'd be fire behind her back because she's falling back into the atmosphere, and he just finds a way to save her, but box her, knock her out, and then, I don't know, freeze her or something with his breath or something. Like, just, he's Superman, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like she did get knocked out when she came back in the atmosphere because she was going too fast. And the same thing happened. But she was in outer space. She can't breathe in outer space. She should have suffocated immediately. Her lungs should have been frozen. She's in a vacuum of space. I don't know. It's just really dumb. You know, Man of Steel is different because Henry Cavill was fighting, like, what? 4 Kryptonians? 4 or 3 Kryptonians? I guess, bro. And they were all great. I wish I could have saw the big guy. But I never saw his face. But Superman dealt with that man, bro. Boxing. Like, bro, compare this movie to Man of Steel. And you'll tell me, you'll see the difference. You gotta understand something. Superman was still saving people in that movie, and he was fighting these people in areas where there was no people there, right? But you got to remember, he's fighting Kryptonians. So that woman that was in Man of Steel was very beloved and liked, and she was awesome and iconic, and I loved her. What drove me to watch that movie so many times was the antagonist, which is the Kryptonians. They just had character, had aura, had flavor, you know. Except the big guy, because he didn't talk, but he was very protective over his, you know, his family and everything. Zod. Incredible, bro. You can't make a good protagonist without an antagonist, I'm telling you. It just can't work. If the antagonist is great, the protagonist is going to be greater. Because Zod was like, he was created to protect Krypton. There's no Krypton. Of course he's going to be pissed. You know, at first he was trying to get Kal to join them. He's like, no, I can't do that. You know. And he's like, okay, you're in my way. You know. I get it, bro. And then Zod's just, he's fighting Superman, and he's a trained soldier, you know. And he's just figuring out how to do his abilities faster than it took Superman to learn when he was just a little baby. So Zod's able to figure this shit out in the span of the movie, in the span of their fights. At first, he couldn't even breathe the air on Earth. Then he's able to breathe the air. Then he's able to freaking, you know, he went from like super climbing buildings to like flying, and like, it's just so iconic. But if there's, I know I'm elaborating on, but like, it's just my love for Superman. Superman isn't a guy that gets beat the fuck up, okay? He doesn't need sidekicks, doesn't need Supergirl. There's actually a cartoon with Supergirl and Batman. Supergirl's strong, powerful, but she's not strong enough to beat up Darkseid. You know, it took her and Superman, 2 Kryptonians, to beat the hell out of Darkseid and get him back into his dimension. But like, she got licked. So did Kal, and then they eventually figured out a way to beat them together. She's not weak. Supergirl's still she's a Kryptonian. Like I've seen movies where she's done things like she's needed just in case Superman can't do it because she's also Kryptonian. But I don't know. Like I was saying, Mark Cavill, not Mark Cavill. Is it Mark Cavill? Henry Cavill. He's fighting two Kryptonians at the same time while making sure everybody's safe. They're shooting guns at Superman, and he's not trying to dodge all the bullets because bullets don't hurt Superman. Like, I guess it's hitting him, right? But he's still fighting. He's still boxing. He's still weaving. He's still kicking. He's Superman, bro. Amped. This Superman is getting his ass kicked. Ass kicked. Ass kicked. Like, ass kicked. Like, he just can't box. Like, the guy's swing. Like, even if you're telling him how to, like, okay, let me put an example. Two boxers, right? They train for their fight. When they go in the corners each round, their coach is telling them things that they could do to beat the other person. But still, they're still boxers, and they still have to watch everything that person is doing. Swing, feint, swing, uppercut, you know? So how is Superman just getting licked up? He can't dodge a simple right hand punch, a knee, you know, he just has no counters. He just doesn't look strong. He's just getting beat up. He's getting beat up so much. You know, at one point my mom's like, this Superman sucks. My mom loved the movie. She's like, this Superman sucks. And the only reason she told me after the movie, the only reason she said that was because, you know, he was just getting his ass kicked. This is Superman. This ain't Batman. This ain't Green Lantern. And don't even get me started on the Flash. Flash shouldn't even be caught. That's going to be for another review, talking about the Flash, because he's my favorite DC superhero. But, yeah, bro, like, I don't want to watch a movie, Superman getting his ass kicked. He's Superman. He's smart. He knows where to put somebody to fight them. You know, one of the greatest cartoons I ever watched was Doomsday. I can't remember if it was a movie or cartoon. It came out in like 2007, I think. And like Superman died, right? There was 2 parts, and then he came back to life to then box up Darkseid. No, it wasn't Darkseid, it was Doomsday. Doomsday. Kryptonian. Okay? But he's like Brawly. So for you anime kids, like he's like picture Brawly, that's Doomsday, and he's Kryptonian, right? He's not dumb, but his name is Doomsday, so just, you know, he's gonna mess shit up. You know, Superman protected everyone while fighting Doomsday. And when you're watching the cartoon, you feel for him because they're trying to do the same thing, but it's different here. Because, okay, for Doomsday, right, in the 2007 cartoon, every time he saves somebody, it hurts him more. He's getting, like, when he can, like, if he just fought Doomsday without caring about anybody else, he probably could do it. But he's so worried about every single person and saving every single person. And, you know, Doomsday flies through a building. He's so worried about every single person that every time he gets his eye off Doomsday, he gets hurt more closer to death, you know? And you can feel that just sadness, because it's like, if Superman wasn't fighting this man in the city, he would be able to concentrate on Darkseid and he wouldn't have died. Then Lois thinks she's going to do something, and that's the reason Superman had to sacrifice himself and kill him and Doomsday, because it was going to kill that was his girl, his rock. He gave his life. Then he came back, but, you know, you felt something. You connected. You understood why. Like, in this, he wasn't really in any sense of danger or dying when he was protecting all these people. It just felt like, oh, it's just another day at work. You know, oh, the girl needs help, get her. Oh, the squirrel needs help, get him. But it's not like every time he does this, it puts him in harm's way, because normally that's what happens. Even in the Christopher Reeves back in 1978 or 1980, I can't remember which Superman. I can't remember if it was Superman 3 or whatever. I've watched it millions of times, but it's been years since I've watched it. But same thing. He's fighting three Kryptonians, and the big guy actually had a little more character and thing. He wasn't dumb, but like he had more better scenes where you could see his face and everything. But like Zod was creative. He's like, you protect these people. Why? You know? And he was using that against Superman, which was more stronger than Kryptonite. It's like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like in this, I did not feel that. So Christopher Reeves, he was in the same thing, you know. He's got to fight. He's got to figure out how to beat three Kryptonians. They're hurting people. He has to fight three of them all at the same time. And he figured out he locked them in like some mirror, and he sent them drifting in outer space. The best. He came up with this strategy with his brain. He didn't have Lois for help. He had nothing. Like he just came up with that strategy to beat them because he's fucking smart. He doesn't need nobody's help. He's Superman. Henry Cavill, he's fighting same thing, but I can't remember what happened. Like they went in like some different dimension or something like that, and there was only Zod left, and then he had to kill Zod, or he was gonna kill everybody. And even if even if he doesn't kill Zod, he's gonna break out of a cell, and he's just gonna cause more harm. In every moral of Superman, that must have been the hardest thing to do. And like this is the only other person from his home world, and he had to do that. Superman Returns. Like he's up against Lex Luthor, but you know he doesn't do anything bad. He does a lot of good, and because Lex Luthor does so many freaking retarded things which infects humanity, affects Metropolis, affects everything. Superman has to fix his BS because he just doesn't like him. When I watch a Superman movie, I'm gonna end off with this. When I watch a Superman movie, I want to connect to Superman. I want to be put into the shoes and feel comfortable and feel safe. But at the same time, it's not that I want Superman to be put in a situation where he's getting hurt. But like if you're making a Superman movie, no different than Spider-Man, it's like because he saves people makes him vulnerable and gets him hurt, you know, because he goes out of his way for everybody else, it allows villains to take advantage of that and really inflict pain, real pain to Superman. Okay? For instance, Man of Steel, and I keep going back to it, Zod was trying to hurt people, and Superman had to save them the best he can. In this, you know, the clone Superman wasn't hurting people because he's being controlled by Lex Luthor. You know, Lex even said he's dumb, you know, but it's like, I don't know, it just wasn't that same feeling. I don't know about you guys. If you want to watch the movie, you can. I'm not going to tell you not to watch it because it's a good Superman movie. It's just I know Superman is better than this, and I know he's stronger, he's smarter than this. It's like, I don't know. I just don't feel anything. I can't be like, that's my guy right there. You know, like, he couldn't beat a kaiju. He couldn't lift it. He barely used most of his powers. Man's got super speed, and he's got so many things. And it's like, I guess. Everybody else in the movie was great. Even Superman was great. It's just like, I just didn't understand the decision making of the things he's doing. He's fighting a woman that literally can't hurt him. She can come up with all the chainsaws she wants. It's not gonna hurt Superman. He doesn't even, he can just ignore her and fight the big guy. But, like, I just don't understand how Lex Luthor has been watching Superman fight, so he knows all Superman's moves, and then he can tell them what button to click to hit Superman. And Superman, being Superman for like 3 months or 3 years, I have no idea how long he was Superman, can't figure out a way to unbox this guy. For instance, Spider-Man. Spider-Man fights Doc Ock. He fought him in the bank. He's never seen Doc Ock before. His webs wasn't working, so he was at a disadvantage already. But he still was able to beat the fuck out of Doc Ock. They fight again the train tracks. He's dodging, he's weaving all Doc Ock's tech. He's boxing him. So Doc Ock has to do something in a way where he can stop getting boxed and put Spider-Man in a situation where it can kill him and kill everybody else. Or at the very least, kill everybody else. Or exhaust him so he can capture him without killing him. Which is how you got the train scene. But this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he's like the Flash, like he knows that, he tries to find the goodness in even the worst people. And they always try to fix their actions. And I don't know. It's just like I couldn't connect with this Superman. I watched the whole movie, and I'm trying to figure out why, he's not strong enough to lift a kaiju. He gets beat up by his clone that can't fight for himself. He doesn't realize until the third act that he can destroy all the robots that is basically always around him when he's fighting him. Superman should have been able to beat him the second time he flew back in the city in the first act. But no, he beats him up and goes away. Then beats him up again. At least the second time, beat him up. But no, he still got mixed. The girl does nothing. I don't even know why she's there. Like, her powers does not do anything to Superman. I have no idea why. She can think of any metal, anything she wants is not gonna hurt Superman. And they already said that the planet literally has no more kryptonite. They ran out of kryptonite. So it's like, what is she doing to hurt Superman? Like, you let me know. She's not Starfire. She's not gonna punch Superman and it's gonna hurt. So like, what's she doing, bro? Like, what's her purpose? We still haven't even got a Teen Titans movie, live action. Oh well. Like, she's not Cyborg, where he can like just shoot something at Superman that he knows is gonna hurt Superman. I don't know. Good actress, but she really didn't belong in this movie. The character, because none of her abilities hurt Superman, so why is she even an antagonist? I don't know, guys. Like I said, if you want to watch this movie, you can, but like, this guy, like, Henry Cavill is way better because, he's boxing like 3 Kryptonians at the same time. I can't even remember the second movie. I think the second movie they made was Batman v Superman, and I don't know. That movie could have been a lot better, but I don't know. And then they did the Justice League thing, so like, I don't know. Henry Cavill, he's just better in terms of boxing, in terms of being able to save people. You're supposed to feel hope. When you see Superman, you're supposed to feel like, like he's locked in, like this Superman just got his ass kicked the whole movie, made a fool of by a fucking dog. I have no idea. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. This is just all my thoughts on, Superman. It's a good Superman movie, but he just didn't feel like Superman to me. The Superman I know can beat up a big ass monster. He can throw asteroids away. He's very intelligent. He's very smart to figure out how to beat somebody. You know, like every time Superman fought a villain, like all his villains, he was able to figure out a way to beat them. He's no different than Spider-Man. He figures out a way how to beat them, you know. After he lost or almost lost, you know, he figures out a way to beat. Like, bro, there's cartoons where they get every villain in Gotham and they get every villain in Metropolis, and it's Superman, Batman versus all these villains, and Superman is boxing every single one of them by himself. No help. He's beating up every man there, bro. Is he struggling a little bit sometimes? Yes. But that's only because he's trying to beat them without killing them or yeah, pretty much without killing them. So he's holding back while fighting, which is very hard to do. I don't know. You guys can go watch this movie. I feel like if they make a second movie, just focus on Superman. Just make it a movie about Superman. Get, you know, Brainiac. I don't know where he's at, but find him because it would be more interesting. It would make it a lot harder for Superman to figure out, you know, how do you stop the most intelligent being in the universe? You know, Brainiac is strong enough to conquer planets. He even once conquered Darkseid's planet. He's that strong. You know, they can do something with Brainiac. I just don't know why they keep going to Lex. Lex can be a part of the movie, all of the trilogy in a way. Like Brainiac can promise him some shit, and you know, at the end of the day, Superman's got to fix Lex Luthor's fuck ups, and that's usually how it goes. But they never do Brainiac. You know, I have no fucking idea why, because he's an intergalactical being coming to conquer a planet, learn everything about the planet, and then destroy it, go to the next planet. So it'd be perfect. But just have it about Superman. He doesn't need the Justice League to fight Brainiac. He's beating Brainiac by himself. And, you know, just let it be interesting. You know, Superman isn't a person that just gets boxed. And stop trying to make a movie to please everybody. Just make a Superman movie. It's not that hard. You know, they've made Spider-Man movies. Even though I didn't like Andrew Garfield, it was still a good Spider-Man movie. I was still able to feel something for the character and understand his purpose and his drive. Is he better than the GOAT Toby that I grew up watching when I was a kid? No. Toby's the GOAT. But, like, you get what I'm saying, right? They made a Spider-Man trilogy, and you knew all those characters and their personalities, what made them be Spider-Man, what they lost. Because Andrew Garfield had a unique flavor to Spider-Man that I liked. The Rhino, mechanical Rhino, was weird, but, you know, I liked Amazing Spider-Man too. I only really went to go watch Garfield's movies because of the villains. I love this. Spider-Man's my favorite character, and he's got one of the best. He's got the best villains, and it's like I wanted to see Rhino, Green Goblin, Sandman, Venom. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I'm going off topic. Look, if you want to watch Superman, go watch it. It's just, I don't know. For me, he's not my Superman. I still prefer. I don't know which is my best Superman. I might have to watch all the movies again. Oh my god, I don't even know if I want to. Maybe I'll watch highlights. But like, I don't know. Henry Cavill was really awesome. The way he fought Zod and he fought all those Kryptonians and shit. Like, he was getting boxed up by that girl. Only because she's just a better fighter than him. She's just better at fighting. But when Superman was just like, fuck this shit, he literally, like, when they were in the bank, he just, like, did one of his classical moves. He just, like, double fists you in the stomach and, like, slams you in the thing. And that's when the other guy came to just jump him with her, right? But it just shows if you push Superman, he will push back. Because he was trying to fight her without hurting her and not going all out, which he was getting boxed up for that. But then when he was just like, you know, like this girl's just talking too much shit, She got hurt, and then she needed backup because Superman's now like he's not. Go watch the fight scene, bro, and then go watch this movie, and you tell me like why isn't Superman strong enough to like just do damage, like do something. Like this man's getting his ass kicked by everything. He's made look like a fool with a dog. Like I always wanted to see Crypto, but not like this. You know what I mean? But it's good that I lived long enough to see Crypto in a Superman movie, because I was always wondering where the fuck Crypto was. But it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm heading out of here.